Hi traders, this is David from Wave Trader. I want to show you a trade I'm in currently on the UsdChf pair. And right now I'm on the monthly chart, and even though the monthly chart looks like things are just consolidating, let's focus on the most current candle, which looks like it's looking like a bearish candle right now. So there's nothing much to really see on the monthly chart here. Let's go down to the weekly. So on the weekly, we begin to see a little bit more definition. And even though it still looks like there's a lot of I'll say that the two countries, the United States and the Sweden, the economies are kind of locked right now. Okay, both of them are almost evenly balanced, so that's why you see something like this going on. But what I wanted to show you, and what I decided to trade, was this bounce. So on the weekly, you can see that we had a strong move in price to the bull side, and then we had a series of reversal candles showing that there was a lot of uh, activity between the buyers and the sellers. And then we had this prolonged bearish candle here. Okay, candle enthusiasts will tell you something about this, but I'm not interested in that. So in this particular instance, I'm looking at the area of support and resistance, and you can see if I were to take my crosshair here and you follow the crosshair down to previous years, you will see that there's a lot of activity on this level. Okay, support. So what I can see here is we have a case of positive divergence of MACD to price here. All right, and then that pushed the market up here. So we had this retracement. Now this is the weekly chart. Okay, so we had this retracement, and now it is being supported by this area. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart and have a look. So on the daily chart, we actually have a wave top situation. Okay, and if we were to take our levels, our profit target levels, to the downside, you will see that we have price targets down here. But I don't think that the market will reach maybe even the fourth target, but I believe that it has the potential to get down to the third target. The reason why I'm saying this is because let's go back to the weekly, and I want to show you something. So let me just clear this here. So remember what I keep saying about the 55% retracement. If we take a retracement of this move, okay, let's use this is the third wave. Okay, right. So taking a retracement of the third wave, because you can see we have the first wave here, second, and then well, this is the third wave. Okay, you can call this the third wave, fourth and fifth, but let's make this the third wave. And if we do that, you can see where the market stopped, almost exactly at 62%. That means that our 55% retracement would have worked splendidly here had you seen that. Unfortunately, I was concentrating more on the British pound and New Zealand pairs the past week. I never even looked at the USDCHF. I just decided to have a look today, and I saw this opportunity. So let's go down to the daily chart. So what I'm saying is that if I had been keeping my eye on this pair, I would have known that the 55% retracement was going to be valid, and I could have placed the trade here. Okay, so that means I could have gotten way more earlier, but I missed that opportunity. So the only thing I can do now is get in where I can get in. So now you understand when I say that taking the levels on the daily chart, I don't believe it's going to get down lower than the fourth target, because our 50% retracement, 55 actually is here, and 62 is just below that. So if this move gets exhausted and the market still decides to go down, I believe it's going to peter out somewhere between the second and the third target, and then resume its upward move, at least in the short term. Okay, but what I decided to trade was this bounce. Okay, and you can see where my price target is. So if we take the retracement levels from here, okay, to where the market bounced, you can see where the 62% retracement. So I decided to place my my target profit in the region of the 55%. I think it's even less than the 55%, but I decided to place my profit target there. Now, bear in mind that as far as I can tell, this is a counter trend. And if you do not understand this 55% retracement strategy, then it will not be too advisable for you to take counter trends, okay? Because they have the tendency to turn against you on a whim. And even now, I'm still wary of this trade, okay? Because there's a possibility that the price may not even get to that level, okay? So on the 4-hour chart where we are right now, we can see that the market gave us another wave top situation, okay? From this high here to this high, it makes it a negative divergence, but from here to here we have an instance of positive divergence, okay? So if I decide to take my profit target levels there, you can see that our profit target from this point all the way to the 6 target was fulfilled. So now that we have a wave bottom situation occurring just below the 6 target, it makes sense that the market will have the potential to push probably even higher than this level. But I'm satisfied with where it is right now. Okay. So this was what I saw. As at the time I saw this, the market was in this region. Okay, I'm just going to mark that here. Okay. So let's go down to the 1-hour chart and see how I entered this trade. So you can see that if I had come to the 1-hour chart directly and seen this whole mess here, it would have looked as if the market did not have the potential to go up, okay? But by analyzing it from the monthly down, I was able to determine that at least, even though this is a counter trend move, it still had a little bit of potential, okay? So we have our wave bottom situation here. And if I decide to take the profit targets on that, let's just use the first one, okay? But the second one would have been much more convincing, but let's use the first one. So you see that we have price targets all the way up to this point, and because I placed my profit target at the 55% retracement of this downward move, you can see that that sort of coincides with just above, or just below rather, the 6th target. Okay, so even though the market hasn't really gained momentum yet, there's still a little bit of congestion going on here because of this area of well, support and resistance. But I believe that in a few hours, when the New York market opens, then it will have the potential to push strongly and give me my target. All right, so but in the meantime, the moment I saw that the market had moved in my favor by 20 pips, I placed 2 separate orders, 2 lots each. Okay, I placed them almost concurrently. I entered with one, and then a short while later, I think a few minutes later, I decided to go in with the second order. So right now I have 4 lots on here, and you can see that I'm in profit. Okay, so when the market moved in my favor by 20 pips, I decided to lock in profits, not for the sake of the profit exactly, but just so that, because I know that this is it's a counter trend move and the market can retrace sharply. Okay, I know it's going to go up, but it can retrace quite sharply and can easily cancel my profits. So I decided to lock in my profits here. Okay, it's not much, but at least this way, even if it takes me out, I know that I did not lose on the trade. Okay, so I'm going to be watching this for the rest of the day, and if this is going on the USDCHF, then that means that the major pairs will all be having reversals like this, meaning that the euro and the GBP will probably be trending down, and I will look at those later to see if I can get good opportunities to sell. So that's my take on USDCHF this morning, and I hope that you gain some insight from this. Thank you very much.